do your thing. Welcome, Alexander Clough.
Hello.
We're back, bitches. After a hiatus, Shed Science took a 4, 5, 6 month hiatus. And
Hibernating in the summer.
Yeah, you know, I never look on that stuff with regret because I feel like it's all just an incubation period. It's just time for me to like think about shit in my head and like just have more things to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Let it grow.
So what's good? What's good, Alex Clough? How you been, brother?
Well, I've been okay. Glad to be on Shed Science again. A repeat appearance.
First repeat guest.
I am? Wow, okay.
Yep.
That's an honor.
I mean, there have been like 4 total episodes.
Well, it's a select club.
Man, I think it's gonna scale though. I just, I keep listening to these comedy podcasts like Ari Shaffir. They're just so prolific. Like, and he'll do the same thing. Like, he'll literally just take his Zoom, like, out to the middle of Maria Hernandez Park in Bushwick and just sit with it and record like a 2.5 hour. I think the scale of the thing, the fact that like in iMovie I needed to like spend a week and a half editing everything down, like just made it a little bit cumbersome and caused me to like procrastinate.
Yeah.
The other major challenge is getting people to come on.
Well, yeah, you have different requirements to do a podcast than for a comedy person. You can't just go to a park. You need to have the right location, and you need to have a certain number of people who can agree on a time.
For sure.
And there needs to be something brought to the table. So,
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, we did it, and you guys are some of my favorite musicians. I made it happen with some of my other favorite musicians. I got some folks on here who, have big record labels representing them, and they came on nonetheless onto my motley little rickety pirate ship.
I've got nothing else to do, so I'm glad to be here.
I have nothing else to do either, and like I'm not the least bit ashamed of it.
Same time tomorrow? Oh.
Yeah, exactly, right? So yeah, unfortunately, Daniel Foose, who's I think mutually one of our favorite bass players, who you'll see in the footage that this is over, was not able to be here for the interview because he needed to run. Something about a mysterious film shoot in the basement of Planet Hollywood with Buck Angel and Asa Akira. Man's got to do what a man's got to do. Can you?
Is that what they're using Planet Hollywood for?
I'm just like, yeah, of all the places that you would do that, it's Planet Hollywood.
They've been converted. Okay.
Story. When I was in music school, we had a thing, which was we would hang at the Hard Rock every Friday. The Hard Rock on 58th and
Times
Broadway.
Changed.
They have. But check this. The Hard Rock had like a 7-hour happy hour. It was literally from like
happy hours.
Yeah, it was literally from like 5 p.m. until midnight, and they had half price everything, including appetizers. So you could get like 25 buffalo wings for like $5.
Was this like on a Monday night or something?
No, it was Friday. That's the other thing, is we would just occupy the place.
Kind of sad that they had to do that to bring business in. I mean,
they didn't, but there was just this repeating cadre of poor musicians like occupying the bar area week after week. So this one time, my buddy Andrew Bain and a couple friends of ours were just experimenting with like how late can we go, like how late can we stay. And so at like 11:30 they were turning the bar over and it was like some private party. And I was like, dude, I think we need to leave. And he's like, no. Stick with me. I'll do the talking. So a waiter comes over, and we're seated at the table, and he said, I'm sorry, guys, we're going to have to ask you to leave because it's a private party now. And Bane, who is Scottish and about the whitest dude you've ever seen, just like pale, almost albino white with red hair, is like, oh, no, we're here for the party. And the dude's like, and what party is that? And Andrew is like, the doctor's party? And so the waiter's like, all right, whatever. He just leaves us alone. So the room fills up, and it turns out it's like a South Indian singles room.
Oh, nice.
So there are all these people from like India and Bangladesh or whatever, just like it's a mix. So we're literally the only Caucasian faces in the bar.
Yeah.
And like people were cool. Everybody was just chill.
You guys are from northern India.
Yeah. Yeah, we're from the Kazakh border. You know, people look different.
It gets a little blended over there.
People didn't give a fuck. They were buying us drinks. We were on the dance floor dancing with people. Shortly after that, the Hard Rock Hang came to an end. And mysteriously, the happy hour was shortened to 2 hours, and appetizers were no longer half off. So long story short, Planet Hollywood was going to be like the next shit, because I don't know if it was by coincidence.
Of course, well, it's Hard Rock, Planet Hollywood.
Compete. Planet Hollywood all of a sudden started offering like cheap appetizers, but by then the thrill was gone. Like we hung there once, it was all right.
Planet Hollywood's still in business?
I'm pretty sure, and the reason I know that is because there's a story that Bert Kreischer told on Rogan's podcast about getting invited by Will Smith to watch a movie in his private theater in Planet Hollywood. I think that was
That's such a Will Smith thing.
3 years ago. So should we talk about music for a minute?
Yeah, I mean, keep talking about Planet Hollywood. I don't have too much to say about that.
I have 3 topics I want to run by you, like McLaughlin group style.
Okay.
And I'm just going to toss them out there because, give us both time to mentally prepare. I was actually taking notes about this on my phone. It's like, what are we going to talk about? So I have 3 things. Kneebody shouts out, like practically my favorite musical group in the world, so nothing controversial there. But what are they? Like, why is everyone trying to define them? Why do we give a shit? And is the opinion of musicians different than that of critics, which I think it is, in your opinion. Kanye, which I know neither of us know a whole lot about, but I think we just need to go on record like expressing some loud opinions about that.
Okay.
For the internets. And
oh boy, I don't know if I really have much to say about Kneebody. I don't, I'm gonna be candid here. I don't really know their music that well. So I
let me ask you
can
this.
modify that discussion somehow.
Okay, so just the whole idea of here are a bunch of dudes who studied a ton of stuff. They studied classical composition. Some of them, they obviously studied jazz, and they're all bad motherfuckers at jazz. And they obviously listen to like Sigur Rós and Coldplay and like some other much cooler bands I probably haven't heard of. And then they just play, And so my thing is like, I was listening to the whole NPR WNYC Soundcheck interview, and it's like, how do we categorize anybody? They're not exactly jazz. I'm just like, who gives a fuck? They're just musicians playing. Right? We were talking about this when we were setting up. I don't know. Jump in any time. I can keep going on this too.
Well, I mean, I as I said, I don't really have too much of an opinion about their music.
Here's a question. In your opinion, do you feel like the effort to categorize things into genres is less important to actual musicians than it is to people who write about it?
I think for musicians what's important is having a shared listening history, so
Yeah,
if I'm
just
playing,
like influencers, right?
yeah, influences. That's a better way of putting it. If I'm playing with someone where we just have completely different influences, I do find it harder to connect.
Yeah.
And
oh,
when
for
you
sure.
when you play with musicians of different stripes, and their references are different than yours, all it does is it presents a challenge and a barrier to understanding that can be overcome,
Yeah.
but is there.
I almost feel like they made that work to their advantage. It's like they all sort of did. Really. But sometimes it works amazing.
Yeah, no,
Like
it-
if you're
it
a
just
bunch
takes
of super
time.
sensitive guys.
It takes time. It takes time.
I mean, and they are sensitive.
Don't heckle them with their gigs. I don't know how they would handle the heckle.
Okay, I think we've got about 2 minutes. I do want to address the monk competition, and I'm going to come out with an opinion which may be surprising to viewers of Shed Science. I have 0 people I'm worried about offending. That said, I see the monk competition as a net positive. I feel like people who have an issue with it are looking at it the wrong way. I think they're looking at it like it's supposed to be some definitive determinant of who's the best jazz musician. And if you throw away that preconception and just say, like, it's just a foundation that's trying to support the arts by finding some good people and helping their careers. Yeah, maybe they're arbitrary with who they let in and who they don't. I mean, and I feel like I can speak to this too because I was arbitrarily ineligible to play last year because I was too good.
I think if you just see it the way it is, Also, man, the thing about that is that whoever wins it really getting a great thing out of it. So like, it's
And
really,
have you ever seen anybody bad?
No, and,
Never.
And I also,
Everybody who's won's been amazing.
I don't personally care that much about it. I think it's a small thing
Right.
that gets blown out of proportion by an insular community that blows things like that out of proportion.
Yep. By the way, there are advantages to taking a different path to success. There are advantages to building your own ideas and not playing by the terms of the industry. There are
Yeah.
certainly advantages to getting a boost, but there are advantages to the other ones too, right?
It's very much for me just an extension of the way I see the jazz community, which is, really more and more achievement oriented, which
Right.
means we're getting a lot of people who can do so many things so well.
Right.
But, and for a lot of people, for a lot of people in the community, the music is really appreciated because of that, but I think it's losing touch with 99% of people. And the
Right.
monk competition only encourages that, I think. I don't really know. I haven't thought about it enough to say that definitively, but that's a thought that I have.
Yeah. I just
I think congratulations to whoever wins it, because that's great. You
Right.
get a record deal and whether that's worth in the money and the recognition, it's great. But the recognition you're getting is to people that already would have known about you anyways.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's kind of just like a little, what do you call it, a notch in your belt.
Exactly.
And
that was the camera telling us it's time up. So anyway, it's been real.
It's been real.
Thanks, brother. Do it again soon.